Hello. In this video, we're gonna add the font family selection here. So if you click here, then it's gonna go to fonts sidebar. Then we should be able to select the fonts and then reflect to our pages over here, right? So it's the same concept as the color palettes that we have done in the past video. Okay, so that way we can give more flexibility to our user to customize their pages, right? So looking good. I like this font, so I'm gonna, but of course we have not worked on the database yet. We were able to reset, but we could not save it, okay? So yeah, this is what we're gonna work on. If you like this kind of content, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get started. All right, now let's start to add font preset over here, okay? So I'm gonna add link like this, right? So I'm gonna go to this component. It should be in the styles component, okay? So I'm gonna go here to the code base, call it styles component. Then we have a styles nav component that includes link here. At this point, I will add UL tag and the ally tag and then wrap these guys with the ally tag here. Okay, so after that, I'll be copy pasted. Okay, so once I copy paste, it's gonna look like this. We have two different things. Now I'm gonna make some modification here. So here, I'm gonna change it to fonts here. Fonts. And then I'm gonna replace this guy with a different one, okay? So I'll be having, I don't know, maybe H4 tag because we have H3 here and the P tag down here. H4 has, some font style for headings here. And then paragraph would have font style for paragraph. Okay, I'll be replacing these font style with the real font styles, but we don't have font style yet, right? So I'm gonna just make a modification here. Okay, so here let's style a little bit first. Okay, so I'll be giving some class name here, text extra large, just to make it a little bit bigger, and then I'll be giving p tag class name as well, class name that is text muted foreground. So let's take a look how it's looking. Yeah, so this is how it's looking. But I want to give some gap between, right? So I'm gonna wrap a div tag, okay? And then give the class name and then space y, maybe 2. Let me check. Yeah, this one is looking good. So now I think it's time to get some font family inside here, okay? Or we can maybe consider moving this guy out, like the same as up over here, right? So I'll be creating one component here called maybe fonts display, maybe .tsx. And then we're gonna create RFC and then change the fonts display here. Okay, so looking good. And then I'll be getting the component right here, fonts display, right? And then import and then move this guy out to here, right? So just styling a little bit differently. Inside here, I might just get some font family here. So first, the font family that I want to try is the Anton SC. So I'm gonna get this font family and then give necessary ones, right? We need to give some weight. I don't know what weight it's gonna use. It's only 400, so I'm not gonna pass the array in this case. So looking good. Then we're gonna get the Anton SC. Right, okay. So what I want to use here is Anton SC dot style over here. And then this guy will give us font family. I'll be using this guy, okay. So the way I can do here is I'm gonna replace with this guy, okay. Just to paste it. Then let's take a look how it's looking, right? So it's currently looking like that. So this is the font family exactly. So I'll be using this guy, right? So here I'm gonna give a style tag since we're gonna make it dynamic later. I'll be using the font family and then give the Anton SC dot style dot font family. I can pass the whole style, that is fine, but then considering the data that I want to store in the constant will be this guy, so I'll be using this. Okay, I have access to this, but just to make the code a little bit more organized for later. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, it's already reflecting, right? So looking good. So now what I want to do is just making this guy a little bit more readable. So here I'm gonna split with the, if you take a look, we have comma here. Only thing that I want to show is the first one before comma. So I'll be doing that, okay? So here I'm gonna split with comma, and then I'm gonna choose the first one. Then take a look. Then we're going to see just this guy, right? If you don't like this single quotation, we can remove it too, right? So I'm gonna replace all with this single quotation with the empty string. So let's take a look. Yeah, so looking good. And then I'm gonna have another font style. Maybe I'll try with the Hibo. Okay, Hibo is one of the font style that we can use for body if you like. Yeah, of course it's not mandatory. We don't need to pass anything here, so we can just use it directly. So here I'm gonna replace with the Hibo dot style dot font family here. Okay, then I'm gonna I'm gonna add the style here, the same thing. So font family, and then give exactly the same thing. Hibo.style.font family. Okay, so take a look what is going to happen. Yeah, so looking good. Just to make sure this font we selected is the right font family. Yeah, looking good. Hibo, right? Hibo fallback. So looking good. This one also same thing. I want to use the first one only. So to do that, I'm gonna copy paste this guy, or maybe alternatively we can build a one helper here. So I'm gonna build a helper. Okay. So what we can name is maybe shorten font family. Okay. So what we want to return at the end of the day is the font family that is shortened. We need to receive the font family here. In this case, this guy, right? So it's going to be string at the end of the day. So do that. Then we can short the form, right? So what we can do here is I'm just gonna call it. Yeah, looking good. And then I'll do exactly the same here. Wrap it. Oops, wrap it. And then invoke it. So then this one is how it's looking. So let's go here. So I think this one is looking good. So now it's time to create constants. So I'll be creating one constant font presets, and then this one will include the array. And then inside here, I'm gonna have ID that is 1, and then heading, and then this heading will be this guy, the one that we are doing here. Okay, so I'll be just copy paste, and then we're gonna have body later. Okay, body font family will be Hibo font family. So looking good. Then we can create multiple, right? So yeah, and then we can iterate later and then show these font families, right? And then we can choose any of them. Let's try where we go. Okay, so let's get more font families. Other thing that I want to get is quicksand. Okay, quicksand that we are using, we probably already have it in the layout. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, right here, right? So we are already using it, right? But since we're gonna put them all together in one place, I'm gonna just create it here. Okay, so let's just copy paste. Okay, so copy and paste here. Okay, so looking good. Then we can have multiple things, right? So default is having both quicksand, and then we're gonna have a little bit more. Okay, so the next font family that I want to have is Poppins. This one will be Poppins. Yeah, so let's get it. This one, what do we need to pass? Weight, right? Let me see how many weight we have. Okay, wow, a lot of them, right? Okay, so let's pass it then. So 100, let's copy multiple, and then, yeah, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still copy paste 3 more, so I'm just gonna copy here. Okay, and let's quickly update. 7, 8, 9. I think everything, that's everything, right? So from 100 to 900, right? So looking good. And then another font family is bio rhyme. Okay, so bio rhyme, yeah, it's here. And then just the past things necessary. Okay, and then another thing that I want to get is work sans, and then this one will be work sans. Yeah, right here, and then pass necessary one. And then arimo is another thing. So const arimo, and then just to call it. Yeah, we don't, this is optional, so let's not pass. If it's optional, let's not pass. So let's keep as simple as possible. And there are tons of, the font families that we can get, right? So let's try to assign them, okay? So quicksand, we pass the these, and then pop-ins, worksense, and then bio, rhyme, and then remo, right? So let's have just the 4 of them for now, okay? So let's change the ID to, incremental values. Okay, so looking good. So this guy is, I'm gonna mark it as constant, okay? So that it's going to be read-only, it's immutable, right? So font preset, then we can just use it hard-coded, right? So the way we can do is here, instead of this long value, I'm gonna select all of them. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have selected over here. So let me just use different shortcut, Command D, okay? And then delete, and then font preset, and then first item that is heading, right? I'm just gonna copy, okay? And then go to necessary place and then update it. So let me just, oops, I think I copied it too much. So I'm gonna just change it to body now, and then body, yeah. So a little bit shorter and a little bit more, dynamic, right? So, but of course, we're gonna make it more dynamic later, okay? So I'm gonna add just a little to do, okay? So to do, replace font families with dynamic data, okay? So looking good. First thing is done. Maybe we can give a second one just for fun, okay? So here, I'm gonna select 4, yeah, so that it's a little bit more visible on this here, right? So looking good. So then now, what I want to do is creating the sidebar for this fonts, okay? So like a color palette here, right? So it has color palettes, right? The same for fonts. I need that. So what I want to do is, let's go up, right? So in the styles nav, we have href here. So instead of doing this, maybe we can consider hard code it. So this one will not change anyway. So sidebar equal to maybe fonts. The same above here, I'll be hard coding it. This one I don't think it's necessary. So sidebar equal to, this one is colors, right? Colors. So then what I mean, we don't need those. Let me just remove it, okay? So params, where are we using? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I don't think we need this. So I'm gonna delete that, delete that, delete that. Okay, so a little less code, I would say. Just hard code is fine in this case. Let's just hard code, okay? So here, then when we select it, then it's gonna go to fonts. But we don't have components to render the font form here. So what I would do is going to the sidebar, right? So let's go over there. So project sidebar. Over here, we are rendering the sidebar dynamically, right? So I'm going to copy, okay? And then create one more, so font. And then I'm gonna create a component called fonts here. Yeah, so that's what I would do. So we don't have it currently, so we need to create that. So the good thing is it's very similar to colors here. So we have colors somewhere. Yeah. So will be very similar to this. Okay. So I'm gonna just copy paste and then change the name to fonts. Okay. And then let's change everything inside of here. So FontForm, and then font, and then fonts heading here. So what I will do is replacing things necessary, okay? So let's get the fonts first, fonts here. This component will be going to this guy here. So let's import. Then you start to see something. So our sidebar is fonts, but then you still see the colors palette, right? So that is because we have not replaced these guys. So let's replace it. So here, what I want to replace is the font heading first, okay? So here, let's replace it. I'm gonna do fonts heading. And then I'm gonna change name to fonts here, fonts, fonts. And then customize your web pages by changing the font preset, I would say. Yeah, so looking good. Then we can import this guy to our font component, right? Import. This one, let's delete for now. Then you're gonna see here now, right? So let's go back and then quickly check. When we click this, we're going to the fonts site. So looking good, looking good. So then now let's create the form here. Okay, so it's going to be very similar but minor differences. I'm gonna change it to fonts form, just to matching the name, right? And then I'll be importing over here. Yeah, so looking good. Then we're gonna see, the same here. but we need to change this guy to, something that is related to fonts, right? So here, let's change one by one. I'm gonna remove everything other than save, okay? And then we need to build one by one. So schema also need to be changed, right? So let's go over here. So we have, colors validation schema. Let's just copy paste and then make, create everything first, okay? So I'm gonna say this one will be font preset schema, okay? And then I'm gonna replace with the one that above, okay? So here, let's replace everything. Yeah, is there any more place? No, right? Okay, so looking good. This guy, I'm gonna call it preset ID. And then this one will be the same, but you need to select the font preset. So this one is just a validation, right? So then what it means, we need to change based on our needs, right? So preset ID, I'm just gonna hard code, okay? It's going to be 1, like that, okay? Because everything, all the value that we're getting from HTML is, the strings, right? So we need to have strings inside here. And then let's go down here. Let's replace little by little. This reset needed to be replaced, but let's leave it. Then we need to change the form name to preset ID. And then the next thing is we need to have those functions and everything, right? But for now, I'm gonna hard code because we don't have it yet, okay? So this one, let's hard code it too. For now, it's going to be 1, okay? And then this one will be 1, the same thing, hard code. This one, let's make it as 1, right? Okay, so looking good. Just removing all the errors so that we can render something. Here, let's replace with just the function like that. Okay, so looking good. So then let's go here. Currently it shows you here, right? And then it's kind of static right now because we hard coded, but that is totally fine. So first thing that I want to do here is replacing the color palettes with the constant that we created, okay? So if you go to, let me just shut down things that we don't need. Heading, we don't need. Display. So this guy, we have, some constants, right? So this guy, to make this guy available everywhere, I'm gonna export. Maybe it's time to move it to one single core place. The place that I want to store is in the lib folder. We're gonna create one folder called fonts. And then I'm gonna have constants in there, okay? So here, I'm gonna copy paste, okay? So let's move it. This one, move it. And then paste over here. And before we save, I want to also have fonts here too. So all the fonts we are getting above here, I'm gonna move it, okay? So I'm gonna cut it and then move it right here, okay? So looking good. And then select all the fonts, okay? And then export so that we can import it to here, right? So looking good. Then what it means, we can import here too, right? So then looking good. So, and then also this guy, let's move it out too since we're doing it, okay? So export. I'm gonna create one folder, one file called helpers here too, okay? So this one is more for helper for the mapping the font family name, right? So, okay, so save it. So everything is looking good. This one, let's just shut down. We don't need it for now, okay? So I'm gonna shut down. And then inside of the FontForm here, I'm gonna get the constant that we have here. So I'm gonna get the font preset here, get all, right? And then instead of rendering this color palette here, I'm gonna render the font display, okay? Font display. So then let's take a look, right? Oh, look at that. It's already showing pretty good, right? Yeah, reusable component. Here, select the palette, and we need to change here too. And then we need to make this guy dynamic as much as possible, right? So currently, we are just have hard-coded value here. So instead, I'll be having, some props, okay? So type props, and then we're gonna have font families, and then inside here, I'm gonna have heading, that is a string, and then body, that is a string, okay? So then we're gonna receive this guy as a prop, and then get the font family, and then destructure to heading and body, okay? Looking good. Then what it means, instead of font preset here, we can replace with the heading and body only. Yeah, looking good. Then it's a shorter, and then at the same time, It's more manageable, I would say. So I like it. Let me see if I can make it one single line. Yeah, too long. Yeah, so this way is better. And then let's give the space. Okay. So then what it means, we can pass the data dynamically. Oh, I think I've done something wrong, but let's delete that. Let's delete that. Okay. So looking good. Then this one to do, we can replace it, right? Maybe we can go up to the component that is using that. So I'm gonna go up and then fix one by one, okay? So FontForm, we need to pass these values, right? So we have font to preset, right? So font to preset, the rest is heading or body. So we can just pass font family, that is rest, okay? So looking good. Then if we go here, take a look. Things are dynamic here, right? Yeah, so this is good. This is good. But of course, we need to update a little bit more, but this is pretty good, I would say. And then the place that we render the font to display in the other place. So font to display, we are using it in the styles nav, right? So here, let's pass it, okay? So font family, and then heading, and then a body. So here we are gonna hard code for now, okay? So font preset, first item, or maybe one, and then dot heading, and then let's give to body as well, okay? So font preset, that is first item and body. Yeah, for now hard coding, but we're gonna change it, okay? And then give the to do here. Yeah. So just give the to do so that we are gonna fix it later, okay? So yeah, hard code should not existing. Then both end should look good, right? So Anton, then we can replace this guy later, right? Awesome, everything is looking good. So now it's a time to make this guy a little bit more dynamic. So what I'm going to do here is go to FontForm, right? So let's just shut down things that we don't need. In the FontForm, I'm gonna create the state, okay? So I'll be using exactly the same as what we have done in the previous video, using the local storage, okay? Local storage, I'm gonna name it to preset here, and then I'm gonna give the initial state. Initial state will be the font preset, that is first item, okay? So looking good. Then this local storage will return a couple of things, right? So if you scroll down, state, and the set state, and then reset. Reset is just a pretty much reset to the default state, right? So if you take a look, initial state, right? So that's what is happening here. So what I would do here is I'm gonna take them out, but give them the name, meaningful name, okay? So I will be saying preset, and then set preset, and then reset preset, okay? So this, since this is array, index is important, but name can be renamed, right? So this is one thing good about the array. So looking good. So now let's pass the data a little bit more dynamically here, okay? So where I hard code it here, I'll be selecting everything. I selected here, here, and this guy also needs to be changed, but yeah, let's change it, okay? So I'm gonna delete them, and then preset dot id, and then dot to string, because our id is the number, right? ID is the number, but string, the preset ID is expecting string here. So looking good. Then now let's try to replace it here too, right? So this one will be preset dot ID, right? So looking good. And then where is the error coming from? We need to use this one, right? So we need to have a setter, right? So here we have commented setter, right? So I'm gonna have change preset here. Of course, the value will be the ID, right? And then we're gonna convert it to number. So I'm gonna use this guy. Let's build it here. So when I build it, it's going to be a function that receive the preset ID, okay? That is the font preset. I didn't build the type yet. So let's build the types here, okay? So the way we can build the types is I'm gonna go to here. I'm gonna build the one type, okay? So types.ts, it'll be based on the structure of our constants, right? So I'll be just copy pasting, okay? And then export font, I'm gonna say the type font preset, okay? The preset will be an object, and then this one will be the number, and then the rest will be string, okay? Yeah, so looking good. Then we can just export to this guy to our form and then pass necessary. Here I'm gonna just call it and then ID. Okay, so looking good. And then here we forgot to statically typing it too, right? If you see the local storage here, it's accepting the generic type, right? So we're gonna pass the generic type that is font preset. Yeah, so everything is looking good. So then once we receive the ID, then we're gonna find the object, not the preset ID, and then assign it to preset. Okay, so here I'm gonna get the preset, and then when preset dot ID is equal to preset ID, then that's the item that we want to store to our preset state, right? So I'm gonna say this one will be selected, but selected can be undefined, right? Because we're using the find higher order function. So I'm gonna just say if selected does not exist, then I'm gonna throw a new error, okay? The message will be simple, just saying invalid the font preset, okay? That's it. And then when everything is good, then I'll be storing this set selected to select out the preset state. So looking good, looking good. And then here, reset preset, we hard code it, right? So I'm gonna replace with this here. And then we're gonna change the preset over here. So everything is looking good. So now let's quickly test it, okay? So, oh, it doesn't change. Let me just replace. Come on. Yeah, it's just some loading is happening. I don't know why. Let me check here. Full load due to the runtime error. Okay, full load due to the runtime error. Yeah, it's just still loading. I don't know why. Maybe I can just try to refresh everything, okay? So what I would do is just refreshing it. Yeah, just restarted it, right? And then let's go here and wait. Okay, so everything is back. So now let's try to select. Now it's a dynamic, right? So let's just try to do console log and then see, right? So here, YouTube, do not worry again, right? So if I just remove the YouTube, it's going to be fine. So this one is more of iframe thing, so we don't need to worry about it at all. So here, I'm gonna just do console log just to see, right? So log d preset. Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, why console gets imported? I don't know why. Console, let me search console. Yeah, sometimes it gets imported, you know, just randomly somehow. So here, if you take a look, here you can see it too, right? Oops, sorry. Yeah, so we can see it here too. And then we can see somewhere at the top over there here too, right? So you can see it, right? So let's take a look. 2, 3. So it's dynamic now, right? So pretty good, I will say. And then when we go here, it's not dynamic. The reason why it's not dynamic is we have a state inside of the FontForm only, right? So let's just shut down things that we don't need. Maybe it's time to make just a quick commit, okay? And then we can continue. So here, I'm gonna go here, generate the commit message, implement the font management, blah, 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 blah. So just to commit it, that's fine. And then now, so where we are using this state will be, you know, our ancestor now, right? Because I need to move state here to here as well. So in order to make the state available, I'm gonna move it to useStyles hook here. Okay, so I'm gonna just cut them, okay, and then move it to useStyles. So when I move it, I need to get the preset here, preset, and then we need to get the reset preset, right? And then change preset, right? But of course, we're just a hard coding for now, right? But on the JSX section, it's pretty fine, right? So I'll be saving it for now, and then go here in the provider. I'm gonna paste it here, okay? And then let's make it available outside of this context provider. So to do that, I'm just gonna copy font preset here because I'll be using it quite a bit. So here I'm gonna have a preset, sorry. So preset, let's type it first. We need a preset to be going out, right? And the second thing, we need to have a change preset, right? This one will be just a void. Of course, we're gonna receive the preset ID that is font preset, oops, ID. And then another thing that we need is the reset, right? I think we need to organize here a little bit. Sorry, I think it's a lot mess. Here, ID, leave it preset, change preset palette. System theme, let's bring it up too. Okay, so here, reset, maybe it's time to change the name to reset palette here because we have two different resets. Okay, so palette. Okay, So here I'm gonna have reset preset as well. So looking good. Then let's just change the name quickly, okay? So reset palette to that, and then let's add everything that is necessary, okay? I'm gonna organize exactly the same as above so that I'm not gonna get confused to myself. Color palette ID and then palette, change palette, save the last one. Okay, so let's add one by one. So here we need a preset, right? Preset will be the font preset, first item, okay? And then we need to have change preset, right? I'm gonna just copy paste. And then we need reset preset, okay? Reset preset. Yeah, so looking good. I think we just need a comma here. So everything is good. So what it means, we can make these guys outside of the world. So let's just make it outside of the world. So here, I think we need to organize too, right? So style, dim, palette ID, palette. Okay, so looking good. So let's try to get it. So we need to get the preset out. We imported up here, right? So we have everything already. We just needed to pass it out, right? So change preset, and then we need to get the reset as well, right? Reset preset, and then reset palette as well. But this name does not exist yet because we just have, where is it? We just call it reset. I'm gonna call it reset palette here. Okay, so then let's fix where it's necessary and then get it out. Okay, so I think everything is looking good. Yeah, no error in the value. Okay, so let's update the dependencies. Okay, so looking good. I'm gonna organize here a little bit more, but let's make it work first, okay? So then what it means, I can get all the thing necessary here. So let's try to check it out. Yeah, it's still working. Beautiful. So then what it means, we can make the here, this section also we can make it dynamic. So I'm gonna do that. So let's go to, where is it? I forgot. So in the styles nav, right? Styles nav component, this guy we can replace with a real one. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna just get the preset here, preset, and then pass the value dynamically. So here, let's just do that, preset that heading, and then preset the body. Okay, so looking good. Then we can remove this to do, right? Awesome. So then let's quickly test it, okay? So pop into for heading, and then when I choose biorhyme, right? And then go to styles, biorhyme, okay? So looking good, looking good. I love it. I love it. So what it means, we can reflect this data to our, pages too, right? So we can do that because we already have all the data inside of the context, right? In the styles context, we have everything. It's complaining a little bit. It's just saying, hey, wrap with the user callback because React doesn't want to regenerate this function every single re-render. So let's quickly do that and then move on. Okay, so user callback and then pass the dependency and then quick and then update. Okay, so looking good. Then in this file, everything is looking good. So now it's time to update it. So let's go to layout where we are applying the styles here. So we are having the styles wrapper that has the styles to effect our pages nicely here, right? The same as the color palette here, right? So it's a reflecting here, right? So font, we're gonna do the same here, okay? So to do that, I'm gonna have, very similar thing here in the styles, right? So we can pass things, right? So we're gonna go to useStyles, and then inside here, we're passing the style here, and then we're mapping here, right? So I'm gonna pass the preset as well, and then map the style object, okay? So style object is at the end of the CSS properties, right? So I'm gonna update that function. So the way I'm gonna update is maybe it's not just a palette anymore, it's palette and preset. So instead, I'm gonna just say map to style preset, okay? So let's go up here and then go to the function, change the name, okay? So change the name, awesome. So of course it's complaining because I'm passing additional, argument, right? So let's accept the parameter here. So parameter that I want to accept will be the font preset here. Yeah, so this one will include heading and then body, right? So looking good. But since this guy is dynamic, I just need to create additional variables here. Without variable, I cannot have, the body style and the heading style dynamically. So to do that, I'll be creating variable, maybe called, WB font heading, or maybe WB heading. Yeah, it's totally up to you, right? But let's add a font at the beginning so that I know this one is font family. Okay, so I'm gonna give heading and then WB font body, and then this one will be body. Okay, so looking good. So then what it means, when we go to our browser now, select this, whole thing right here. Take a look. We already have variable that is font family, right? So this guy, I'm gonna have one font family somewhere. Okay, so let's go to, the global.css here. Let's make it half a screen and half a screen. Okay, so here I'll be creating inline style, or alternatively you can do something like this. The way you can do here is just create one class name. I'm gonna say WB, maybe font WB. Yeah, so totally up to you how you want to do it. You can do font family and then pass the, the variable dynamically. Totally up to you. And then just to pass it, right? Oops. Of course, you need to wrap it with the var, right? Yeah, you can do that. And then when it's heading, oh, sorry, I think this guy, you gotta be body. And then this one, for the headings, like H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, we can give the font family to WB. Let's use var first before I forget. The WB font, what's it called? The heading, right? Because we are generating this variable dynamically anyway, right? So we can do that if you like. So let's give it a shot, okay? So then, sorry, I think we should not forget to give this class name too, right? So I'm gonna get the class name over the where we are passing this, okay? So let's go over there. So here we need to pass the class name over here so that it's going to be reflected. Again, this styles wrapper is where we are seeing, not including the sidebar, but header and then the page that we are rendering over here. Okay, so right section here. Oh, it's already changing. Take a look. Nice, right? So if you just select here, it's changing, right? Nice. Yeah. If you don't like this harder code, you can, have a little bit differently too. More Tailwind style way, then you can do this. The way you can do that is you're creating the variable here, inline variable. You can say, I'm gonna create a font and then say WB body, okay? And then I'm gonna do exactly the same thing here. So instead of heading here, we're gonna give a heading and then change it to heading. So then what it means, instead of doing that, we can use a little bit more Tailwind way. Let's now combine. Here, the more Tailwind way is using the apply directive. Apply, and then you can say font WB body, like that, right? And then we can do exactly the same here. Apply font WB heading, because these are headings, right? Yeah, looking good, looking good. Maybe I need to keep that. Yeah. So then it should work exactly the same, right? So take a look. Awesome. Yeah. So this one is totally up to you how you want to do it. But in this case, I think this one is pretty adequate for me. Yeah. So if you have a better way, let me know. I can update. But for now, I'm going to leave with this one. Okay. So looking good, looking good. So then let's just shut down things that we don't need. Shut down. This one is good. Shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down. Yeah. Shut down. So I think everything is looking good based on what we see, right? But it's time to connect the database. But in this video, I think this much is good enough. So I'll continue in the next video, okay? So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.